Jagdeep Chhokar, I'll give you the last word. Ultimately, it comes down to we the people. If we the people, and this is the argument that has been made by at least 3 panelists on the show, if we the people are okay with re-electing a Neta who has been convicted, what problem should anyone else, especially the Supreme Court, have?
Well, give me half a minute to explain. We the people have a very limited choice. If all the major political parties put up candidates which have criminal cases pending against them, what choice do we the people have? We actually do an analysis which is called red alert constituency analysis, where 3 or more candidates have criminal cases pending against them. And more than 50% of constituencies are like that. Now, I am just curious. I mean, we have a lot of problems with the judiciary, and I agree with them. But does the judiciary have 46% judges who have criminal cases pending against them? Everybody wants to make laws for himself. Doctors want to make law for doctors. Judges want to make laws for judges. Politicians want to make a law for politicians. Nobody wants to make a law for citizens. Citizens have nowhere to go. Citizens go to the court when they find that over 25 years, this problem is persisting and the parliament has not had the time or inclination to deal with it. So 25 years is not a short time, at least in my opinion. And if the parliament does not listen to the people for 25 years, where do people go? People go to the court. Court have a right to correct the law, and the parliament has the right to again undo the law. This is the process which is laid down. What is the problem in following that process? Let the Supreme Court decide. If the parliament thinks the Supreme Court has overstepped its authority, let the parliament make a law. Again, it will go to the court. And I mean, this is the constitutional process that we need to follow. What is the problem in following it? I don't understand.
Okay. Tehseen wants to come in. Tehseen, very quickly.
We are slipping down a very dangerous spiral. Very dangerous spiral. The day won't be far when Shashank, me, Manish will be here and the courts will summon the Prime Minister of India to the court, like it happened in Pakistan. How dangerous is it? We will not be a democracy. This is the most dangerous argument to be made on moral. The law is clear. If you're convicted, plus 6 years, you cannot contest. Who is parliament? What is the difference between 6 years and 8 years? Who decides? A judge sitting? What gives the judge the expertise? I'm seriously asking you. How does Article 142...
But there's a lot of difference between 6 years. No, 1 minute. There's a lot of between 6 years, 8 years in a lifetime, na? Which is why the matter is being debated.
So when you're talking about a murder charge or a rape charge, I'm presumably talking about that. That conviction anyways is not less than 10 years. So 10 years plus 6 years, 6 years is anyways a lifetime. It's not direct, it's indirect. Now a judge, because he's sitting there or she's sitting there, will decide, no, I will do something else. But can the judge, who himself is there because of his family connections, be accounted for? These are the questions. We have to ask these questions. If courts summon parliament, what if courts going to summon the Prime Minister like they did in Pakistan? They summoned Nawaz Sharif for some moral issue. It wasn't even a legal issue. Is that what we want in our country? Is that what we want courts to do? Summon the Prime Minister? I'm anti-BJP. But tomorrow when I'm in government, I want the courts to summon my Prime Minister for what? You can't allow this in the country. There has to be a Lakshman Rekha, a very thick Lakshman Rekha, may I say.
Shashank Shekharja, you wanted to come in as well. I could see you raise your hand. Go ahead, please.
Shreyaji, there has been few significant changes in our legislation also by the Supreme Court, which has been honored by everyone. One, in every election, every candidate will have to give their criminal record, the allegation against them, the cases pending against them, etc., etc., and they will have to advertise, promote it over their website, including the political parties. So that has been supported. Second point, special MP MLA courts will be there to investigate on those MP MLAs who are being accused of some crime, like the data you are giving here. Now my point is, the allegations, if they are very serious, for example, rape, murder, etc., like Tehseen was saying, then there will be life imprisonment. They will not be able to return back from their life in behind jail. Now, those who are convicted between 2 years to 10 years or 12 years, they can get a cooling off period of 6 years, and then they can try to return back to the normalcy. So doesn't our judicial system, which is based on dharma, because the Supreme Court's motto is yato dharma tato jaya, where there is dharma, there should be victory. So what does that mean? That means that the evil should be removed from the society. So if someone is giving a judgment to be behind bar for certain years, it is because the society wants to reform that person. So if a reformed person wants to return to the society, why are you stopping the person? Do you want the person to be returned to that problem again?
Acha, chalo, Shashank Shekhar Jha, will that hold true for a bureaucrat, for an IAS officer, for an IFS officer as well? Bataiye. Someone is convicted for corruption or murder. Will the government, after 16 years, allow that bureaucrat, that IAS officer, that IRS officer to come back and join the government? To say that, this guy has reformed, he needs to be given a second chance? If that bureaucrat is not given a second chance, why should a neta be given a second chance?
श्रेया जी, डिफरेंस है. जो ब्यूरोक्रेट का जॉब होता है, they are there to apply for a particular job during particular age limit, etc. They will not be eligible for that job. For a politician to be nominated or elected for a particular job, there is no age criteria as such. The minimum is there. There is no maximum criteria. The only eligibility is whether the people of this country wants to elect them or not. So that is why during the Constituent Assembly debate, it was very carefully drafted that a convicted person should not be returning to the parliament until unless there should be a cooling off period. You cannot compare that with any other job because it is not a job. It is a service. Technically, we the people and those people who are serving are there in the Constituent Assembly and Parliament. So we cannot actually compare that. But having said that, if you want to compare that liberty should be there with the parliamentarian and not with judicial, not with judges who are not there directly elected by anyone. And like rightly said by Tehseen, Judiciary did not
that is exactly the point I'm making. Why will the parliament which is filled with people with criminal cases against them, pass a law banning them for a lifetime? There's a conflict of interest there as well. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very interesting debate.
To get into their domain.
ठीक है. Okay, and no, there's a question. Okay, I get your point of view. In fact, this was a very interesting debate because we managed to get all points of view in. Thank you, Tehseen. अभी मेरे को और करना है debate दूसरा. We leave it there for the moment.